Welcome to Everyday Lessons in the Bible. Today I was in Habakkuk and it has 3 chapters total. So we will cover all 3 chapters today. And Habakkuk is a minor prophet in the southern kingdom of Judah. And this is prior to their exile. And Habakkuk is crying out to God to do something. Have you ever been there? God, just please, will you move in a mighty way? Will you do something about all of these things that are happening? And the reality is, and God is trying to show him, you can't see what I'm doing. You can't see from my vantage point, God's vantage point, right? He can see it all. He sees how it all plays out. And he is doing what is best and right. And we can't see that most of the time. We can only see what's right in front of our faces, what's going on right in that moment. And we have got to be able to take a step back from situations and look at the big picture. And so God's perspective is he sees how awful the Babylonians have been to his people. But he also sees what his people are doing, all the Israelites, all the Jewish people, how they are worshiping other gods or doing other things other than what God has called them to do and what he's taken them through and all the things that he has done for them. They're not walking in that way. And so God is seeing, that allowing them to go into captivity could bring forth that change in their heart and transform their lives, and that what God has for them is so much better, and so he loves them. He's trying to help them. But Habakkuk continues to cry out to God and wants him to do something, and God's not doing it the way Habakkuk thinks that he should do it, so he keeps crying out to him. And we can feel like sometimes that God is not watching over us and not protecting us from evil. But one of the things that I have had to learn to do, and it's spoken of in here, is to write it down. When God gives you a vision about something in the future, write it down so that you can hang on to that, because God does not lie, and the visions that he gives you are true. And I know for me, God has given me visions for each of my children. He has given me visions for my life. And when he gives me those visions, I write them down and then I hang on to them because at the moment it doesn't seem like that's going to happen, right? Things that are going on are not lining up with those visions in my life or my children's life or whatever is going on. But I have written it down, and I trust that the visions that I received are true and that God does not lie. And God, he comes against those that are full of pride and arrogant and greedy men. It says men, but women are greedy too. And they never have enough. They're just takers. They don't give, and how we can store up for ourselves, all of these things and not share with other people. That could be material things, but that could be gifts that God has given you. What gifts has he shown you or given you that you're not sharing with the world, that you're not helping other people with? Your life that you've been through and the trials you've been through, that's a gift. And you may not look at it as a gift, but it is truly a gift, because God wants to turn that thing into something that helps other people and that is a gift to those other people. It may not seem like a gift to you, but it is definitely a gift to other people. And I can attest to that. The things that I've went through, I'm like, oh my gosh, and it's like, but God is using that to help other people, help other women. And it's incredible. I'm like, I could have never done that. I would have never thought to do any of the things that God has called me to do. And then it talks about, buying things and storing things up. But I wrote down, even like on credit cards, when you buy things on credit card that you can't afford, you are storing up things that you can't pay back. This is what they were doing to the people. They were putting them in debt and not sharing things with them, and they would hold up on things, and God he wants you to take care of yourself. But these people, they're protecting themselves and not helping other people. They're isolating themselves, and that can be very dangerous. And one of the things I got out of that was that home should be a safe place for you and your family, but it can also be a safe place that you can provide for other people, a safe haven for, people in need, that they can come in and stay with you and get to a place where they can move back out into the world, because maybe they just need a moment, maybe they just need to take a breath and have a moment of, and restore some of the things that they're depleted in, right? But God is so faithful and he is so good, and he is frustrated with the people because they are worshiping idols. They are worshiping things that have no breath, that cannot give them answers. They make these carved images that can't do anything for them. They are putting trust in something that they created and not their creator. Do you do that? Do you put trust in things that you've done with your hands, that you've provided for yourself, and forget the one who truly provided that for you? I know for me, I'm in real estate, and I've had to, for a very long time ago, surrender my real estate business to the Lord and trust that he brings the people that he wants me to work with. And it has been amazing, because there are times where I get really low in all my bank accounts, and I wonder, I have to go to God and say, look, I trust you. I know you're going to bring the business, because he's always told me to focus on ministry and let him bring me the business. And he does every time, and it's truly incredible. But I am putting my trust and my hope and my faith in the Lord, not in people and not in other things or myself. I'm not putting hope and trust in myself to provide for myself. I'm putting all of that into God. And so then Habakkuk at the end has a prayer, and he's just crying out to God. And, he knows that God's, wrath is just, and that to have the fear of the Lord and to be in awe and wonder of who God is, and to remember God's mercy that he has for us, that God is all powerful and that he is our creator, and that the whole earth and the heavens bow at his commands. That is so important to remember, that it's that fear of God, the awe of God, of knowing he is all powerful, all knowing. And the Lord, he is our salvation. He is the anointed one, and he anoints us. Jesus came to set us free, to save us from ourselves, and to anoint us and to bring salvation to us. And that we have to trust that the Lord will crush the wicked. And the wicked is those who never turn to the Lord, and they just seek to do evil to everybody. But it's also the demonic world, the evil world, all of Satan and his minions out there, wreaking havoc on all of us. God will destroy them, and we just need to know and trust and have faith in the Lord of what he's going to do. And you may not see it in your lifetime, but it will happen, and you can trust that it will happen because his word is true. Thank you for listening to Everyday Lessons in the Bible. I hope you have a blessed day. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.